Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin and today we're doing my buys and buys. I got this idea from another YouTuber. Her name is Anna Elizabeth Murray. I always have her link down below and I love the way that she kind of combined a monthly haul with a monthly empties. So I kind of have adapted that into my own little way and I add on my beauty budget. Now, since we are done with the first quarter of the year, I don't know where time goes, but I did want to share at the end kind of where my numbers fluctuated throughout the last 3 months. And because I'm kind of a spreadsheet nerd, I'll probably pop up little screenshots of my spreadsheets just so you can see how I track all my products and what's coming in and what's going out. But without further ado, let's get into the products that I brought into my stash this month and things that are leaving. So this video goes up in the middle of the month because I don't want to give any spoilers to my project pan updates because I do have some empties from my project pans. But let me see, do I usually do purchases or empties first? Let's do my purchases just because I only have 3. So that'll be very easy for us to get through. So let me get my little basket and I'll show you what I brought into my collection. I do have one of my puppy dogs in the room with me today. He's been very clingy and so he's sleeping behind all of my equipment here. So hopefully he doesn't pop up and knock over lights or anything. But if you hear any little doggy noises, it's probably him. He's sleeping right now. But I just didn't want to push him out of the room. But the 2 purchases that I made in March, I did purchase one thing from the 21 Days of Beauty, and I ended up picking up, this was on the 24th of March, I picked up the Murad AHA BHA Exfoliating Cleanser. I had used up my one that I had last year, and I kind of said to myself, if this ever goes back onto the 21 Days of Beauty, I would love to pick this up. So it came on for half price, so $23 for this, and I picked it up. Now I'm working through some other exfoliating products right now, so I'm not going to open this up or roll this in yet, but I am super excited about having this back in my collection because I love this product. I did throw one other product in with that Ulta order, and it was an ordinary serum. This is the lactic acid 10% plus HA, and the bottle's empty. So what I do with this is I pour this into a body lotion. And so I basically create my own exfoliating body lotion. I do have the red bumps on the sides of my arm, so I have KP. I've used the First Aid Beauty like KP scrub and hated it. So I basically said I'm going to make my own exfoliating lotions. So basically I just poured that entire serum into a big body lotion that I have, and I use that to exfoliate my legs, exfoliate my arms. I'll do it on my chest if I'm feeling a little bit congested, and it's just a way that I put an acid and a chemical exfoliant into a body product without having to pay a lot of money. Now, I mix a lot of products, and I feel like I need to make this disclaimer that I am not a cosmetic chemist. I do not know if mixing things together hurts the efficacy of the product. I have no idea. This is just what works for me and what I have decided to do and put on my body. So do your own research and kind of see how you feel about doing anything before you mix anything in yourself. But this is just what works for me. So being able to buy a serum, and I think I used some Ulta points. So I ended up only paying $4.71 for this. So just tacking this onto my Ulta order was easy because I needed an exfoliant for my body lotion. The other purchase I made in March, I am so excited about. And I got my hands on the Muse palette from Cosmic Brushes. So this came back into stock on the 4th, and I logged on right away. Like I had a timer and a reminder set on my phone, so I logged on right away when it came back into stock and I ordered it. Took about 2 weeks to get here, which it's coming from the UK, so that's understandable. But This is just gorgeous. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at how small this is. And I'll show you the inside in a second. But I was almost thinking that this would be the size of the like 30 pans from ColourPop, but I was super excited to see that it is smaller and it fits very nicely up on my shelves where I have my palettes. But this is the inside. I'm trying not to position the mirror. This is the inside of this palette. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this color story. I've dipped in here a couple times and done a couple looks. My husband really likes this shade right here. I did a look with that for him because as soon as I opened this palette, because of course, bless his heart, when I get new makeup, he's like, don't you already have those colors? And I'm like, yes, I do, but it's a new formula. But he really was drawn to this green shade right here, and so that I did a look with that one, and this formula is beautiful. I think the other palette, is it the Serenity palette? I'm not necessarily drawn to that one because it has a lot of blues, which I have more blue on my eyes today. I am slowly checking off all my blue eyeshadows so I can hopefully roll those palettes out during my next deck of panning, but the Serenity palette has so many blues that I just would not get any use out of them. But this color story is absolutely beautiful. If I can have the time, I might put in like a little B-roll of an arm swatch, but I have not used every pan in this palette yet, but this might be another palette that I kind of challenge myself to do a no pan left behind because I really want to get use out of this formula because it is absolutely beautiful. So with shipping and taxes and customs and all that stuff, I ended up spending $34.43 on this palette, and that is money well spent in my eyes. So those were my 3 purchases for the month. I feel like I did relatively well. There wasn't a whole lot in the 21 Days of Beauty that kind of caught my attention and drew me in, and so I felt like I was okay with just shopping that one day. But for the entire month, I only spent $62.14. I am putting $50 per paycheck into an account that I use for my beauty purchases. And because there was 3 paychecks in March, right now my ending balance is $82.72. Now, I am anticipating buying some products during the VIB sale, so I have to make sure that I'm not going quote-unquote negative in my beauty budget, but I think with having $87, $88 in reserve, I'm in a really good place at the beginning of the year. If you haven't caught my other videos, I'll end up linking my series up here. But basically what I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing $50 a paycheck, but I am splitting it up to where $900 for the year goes into like beauty and makeup, and $400 goes into skincare. So I have split up my my spreadsheet to kind of pick those numbers out so it gives me my total. And so basically, puppy dog noises. But basically, I'm splitting those 2 costs up because I want to keep my skincare costs under $400 a year and my beauty budget under $900 a year. I know sometimes people do this series where they either give themselves points or they give themselves like a 1-for-1 as far as dollar amount. That just wouldn't work for my budget and what I want to spend versus what I want to bring in. And really, I use up so much and I don't need to bring a whole lot in that my numbers would be skewed all the time. So I have my bucket of my empties. This is my empties bucket. It is to the brim this month. So let me go ahead and set this down and I'll start picking some things off. You already can see some spoilers up top. But what I have, and again, I'll just pick off the top. So if you have watched my most recent Project Pan update, which again, shameless plug, link it in the eye down below, I used up my Believe Beauty foundation. And so it took me 3 months to use it up, which that is pretty common for me with using up foundations. I'm trying to see if there was a full fluid ounce. No, this was just 0.85. So this wasn't even a full fluid ounce, and so that's why I was able to get through it in 3 months. But I used up a foundation. Then I have And again, dog hair on everything. It's gonna be like a rolling theme of me just picking dog hair off of things. But this is the Fourth Ray Beauty BFD cleansing oil. I love this stuff. I have a backup already in my shower, and so I keep this in my shower, and I keep my Clinique Take the Day Off Balm by my sink. And so I kind of interchange between the two because I don't really like taking the top off the cleansing balm in the shower, so I like the pump better. But I will continuously buy this. I love this. I hope ColourPop never discontinues this because it really is a beautiful product for breaking down makeup. We're going to pick a big one off the top, and this is the Ava NYC, what is this? Therapy Session Hair Mask. So this is completely done. Done, done, done. And so what I actually do with this is I have an old bottle with a pump from like an Aussie, the 3-Minute Miracle that's in the pump. So I had used that up, and I don't like opening jars of stuff in the shower. I just feel like water gets into it and then you're kind of stuck with a puddle of water in your product. So what I actually did is I took all of this and put it in the other bottle that has a pump. And so I went through everything that was in there. The pump ran dry again, so that let me know that I had used up this whole product. I already do have another one of these under my sink. I love this. I don't really use regular conditioner anymore. I just use hair masks because I am only washing my hair once, maybe twice a week. And so I don't need necessarily a regular conditioner. I just put in hair masks. That does my conditioning. I do have color treated hair, so this works wonders. And I love the way it smells. I love the way it makes my hair feel. This will be a continuous repurchase for me as well. I have an empty of the Garnier Micellar Water. This is just the regular kind. I know they're coming out with a bunch of different kind of formulas of them, but this is just the regular pink top. And I do the same thing with this. So I have an old Bioderma micellar water container, but it has the little part up top that when you push down on it, product comes up through it, so you can just put your cotton round up there. So I decant this into my Bioderma one, and so I used up everything in there, which tells me that this is now gone, but I really love the packaging of the Bioderma one, and that's why I keep that packaging and just refill it with the Garnier ones. But overall, this works really well. I only use this, so if I double cleanse and I still get out of the shower or out of the bath and I still have mascara and like eye pencil around my eyes, this is why I use micellar water. So I probably only go through one of these once a year. So you probably will not see another one of these come through my empties this year, and that's okay. I used up another eczema cream. This is just the Walmart Equate brand. I have eczema on my hands, so I am constantly putting on hand lotion. Basically, every single time I wash my hands, I have to put lotion back onto them because my hands just get so dry. And I'm wearing my ring today, and I typically don't wear my rings because if water gets trapped in between my ring and my hands, or my ring and my skin, I'll break out in eczema all the way around my finger, and it's very painful. So I stopped wearing my wedding rings at the beginning of COVID because of how much we were washing our hands, and then all the hand sanitizer that gets gunked up in your ring. I just stopped wearing them. And so I have to like consciously remind myself to put my rings on before I go out with my husband on the weekends. But overall, I kind of don't miss wearing it. But I mean, and again, this is just my wedding ring, my engagement ring. I hardly wear that either. But it's just when you have issues with your skin on your hands, anything that you put on can be so irritating. So I go through eczema lotion like it's water. And I also buy the cheaper brands because I go through them so much. So as much as I love the Gold Bond formula, this is just as good, and it's not like $15, $16. Things have gotten so expensive lately that if I can buy like a store brand of something and it works just as well, I'm all for it. I have a little bag from Lush here, and I do the bubble bars in the, was it the comforter scent? And so basically I take them, which, you know, you're not supposed to put a whole bubble bar in your bath at once. Like, it's not a bath bomb. And I have a little fancy container in my bathroom that sits next to the bathtub, and every time I get a bubble bar, I go ahead and I just break it up into the container so that I can just shake some of the flakes into the bath, get some nice bubbles. And so anytime that that container is empty, I know that I have gone through. So this is actually the bag from my new one that I put in there, but it's because I used up another bubble bar to be able to repurchase this. It takes me about an hour and a half to get to a Lush store, so I don't go there often, but when I'm running low, I'll go ahead and I'll pick up a bubble bar from time to time. This leaked everywhere. So this is the Paula's Choice BHA AHA exfoliating liquid, and this does get real messy, and I don't know how, because I literally like drop some of it into my hand to put on my face, and then I put the cap back on, but this thing always leaks everywhere, and it leaked all over my bin. But I've repurchased this so many times. I have a new one already. You would have seen it in my buys and buys last month that I repurchased because I knew I was going to be using this one up. So this one is gone, and the new one is already in my bathroom open being used. These last me anywhere from 5 to 6 months. And I think it is because, again, I don't use a cotton round with those. I literally just dump the product into my hand, kind of pat it and then pat, so that I'm not wasting any product in a cotton round. All of it is getting onto my face. So that's the way I do it, and they last me 5, 6 months. I love it. It's done wonders for like the white heads and the black heads. Even though I still get like cystic and like hormonal acne, it's really helped with calming down a lot of the other breakouts that I would have from congestion in my pores. So love it, repurchase it all the time. I do try to get it on a 20 or 15% off sale though. Just sign up for Paula's Choice emails and they'll send them out to you all the time. I have a mini of a dry shampoo. Again, I only wash my hair once or twice a week, so if I'm feeling like I have a little bit more like oil in there, or if I'm using a new hair product that adds, you know, more moisture to my scalp, I will pop in a dry shampoo from time to time. This wasn't my favorite. This was just a mini that I had in my desk at work before I started working from home full time. And so I just wanted to get this used up because I didn't really like it. So not much to say about this. I wouldn't repurchase it, but at least it's gone. This is a Innisfree cleanser, and so I cut it open and scraped everything out. It does get a little bit thick towards the end, and so unless you do cut it open, you're not going to get everything out of here. But I started using this in August. So between August to now, 8 months. So this is only, I think, $10, unless, I know prices on everything has gone up, but overall I think it is $10 for this. I love this. It is a cream cleanser. It feels amazing. I ended up getting a cleanser for free as a free gift from Paula's Choice, and I kind of hate the packaging on it, but once I'm done with that, I'll go back to this. And this will be this is what I use for my morning cleanser. So I don't use this to remove makeup. I just use this for my morning cleanser. So I am definitely going to repurchase this whenever I'm done with my Paula's Choice one. I used up an eye cream from Sephora, and so this is completely done. This is the brightening eye cream. I didn't really notice a whole lot of changes in my under eyes with this. It was nourishing and hydrating. It was decent. I had picked this up during a VIB sale when they were doing 30% off on Sephora. So again, like, it's not that expensive for me to try. I don't know if I would go back to this. I feel like if you're younger and don't have a whole lot of skin issues, then this might be a beautiful eye cream for you. But at 38 going on 39, I feel like I need to start having some eye creams with ingredients in it that are really going to do something for my under eyes. So while I enjoyed using this and it's a good price for what it is, I think at my stage in life and with the maturity of my skin, I'm ready for something a little bit different. I used up a clear coat nail polish, and this is the Sally Hansen Insta Dry. There's a little bit in there, but it's so thick that it's not spreading on anything. This is not my favorite top coat, it's just cheap. And so I'm currently doing a pan that polish where I'm trying to use up 2 polishes before I make an order on Holo Taco. So just to get through those 2 polishes, I've been going through a cheaper top coat. I kind of feel like this makes my nail polish peel off. Like I can peel off my nail polish in one thing and I'm not using a peely base coat. And so I feel like it's probably this. But overall, again, I'm just going with something cheap until I can place an order for some better products. I do have one more of these in my collection, but I'm glad to have this out. The last 3 products are all makeup, so I did go through a mascara. This is the It Cosmetics Superhero. If you've never seen this wand, this is what it looks like. I purchased this during the 21 Days of Beauty in September, and this used to be a holy grail for me, but I don't feel like it is anymore. I just felt like it wasn't good out of the tube, and it wasn't even that old. It just underwhelmed me. It was hard to get on my lashes. It didn't give me the length and volume that I remember. It was a little bit more clumpy. So I think that I'm going to have to retire this mascara as a holy grail. And that kind of hurts my heart because I've been using this mascara for years. But even at half price, I feel like there's drugstore mascaras, even the Essence mascara for $5. I feel like that would give me a better look than what this gave me. I mean, maybe I just got a dud. Maybe I'll go back to this sometime in the future. But really for right now, I think I'm going to retire this as a holy grail. I used up a lip product. So this is one of the ColourPop glowing lips in Cockatoo, and hold on, this has the BHA serum all over it. I'm telling you, it leaked everywhere. So I did dig everything out of the component, but this was pretty much the color of the tube. I typically can go through one of these in about 2.5 months, so it wasn't hard for me to get through this product. I think these might be lip products that I would add on to a ColourPop order if I was trying to meet shipping thresholds, but this is not necessarily a formula that I'm going to consistently kind of seek out. I mean, I've gone through 2 of these so far, and again, the formula is okay, but I want to try something a little bit different. These are a little bit thicker on the lips compared to other like lipstick type balms that I've tried in the past. This just has a little bit more of a thicker consistency. So while I enjoyed using it up over the past couple months, I am happy to have it out of my collection. And the last empty is the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Mascara. Right? Thickening brow mascara. So I'm sure you've seen this all over the place, but this is what the wand looks like. And sorry, it's gross. It's used. So this is what the wand looks like. The wand is huge. And so, I mean, I don't have the tiniest eyebrows, but also I don't have the thickest eyebrows. But what I don't like about this product, beyond the wand being a little bit too big, is the product just gets so thick. So if I actually squeeze everything up, which I like the tube packaging because then you can actually see how much product you have. I still have this much product because you can see it coming out the top. But it's so thick and gloopy and clumpy that it's unusable. Like I even thought like, oh, maybe I could use this like a brow pomade, and I squeezed out some of the product and tried to put it on with a like an angle brush. No, disaster, gross. So this does have some hold, and it has pigment, and I think it has fibers in it, but I just feel like doing a pencil and then doing the e.l.f. Wow Brow and then, well, this is what I do. It might be a little bit extra. I do a pencil, I do a Wow Brow, and then I do my brow gel to hold them in place because I actually do have very fluffy brows that I want to keep in place. Otherwise, my brow hairs go all crazy. But this just wasn't it. So this is not going to be a repurchase. This would actually not be a recommendation from me. Just because I feel like there's so much product in there that gets wasted because at a certain point it's just not usable anymore. So I guess buyers beware. How long did I use this for? Let me look in my book and see how long I used this for, because again, it might be worth it to you. So I used up my last tinted brow gel in August 20th of last year. So August 20th to now is how long I've been using this. So again, if you don't mind having 8 months worth of use on something, but then having, this much product that's unusable, then this might be a good buy for you. But for me, this is just not something that I would repurchase. So that's all my empties. This is everything that I used up in March. Now, in my spreadsheet, I don't actually have the bubble bar listed, and so we're not even going to worry about that. Those are what, $13, $14, so I'm not worried about the cost of that. But overall, for the entire month, I used up $117.35. So what, I spent 67, and so that's not quite half, but it's about there. So that feels good. I'm glad to have all of this stuff rolling out of my collection. If you don't want to stick around for the analysis and change in my inventory over the first quarter, then I will say bye to you now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, do all the things. But if you also geek out about the numbers, stick around for a few minutes because I'm going to go over everything that I've been able to use up. So I'll just jump into it right now. Primers, I started out with 8. I used up 2, didn't bring any in, so I'm going into the next quarter with 6, so that is down by 2. Foundations, started with 6, panned 2 of them, didn't bring any in, so again going in with 4, down by 2. With mixers, I ended up starting with 5. I didn't pan or declutter any. I bought 1, so I'm up 1, so I'm going in with 6 mixers. My powders, I started with 6. I used up 1, and I didn't purchase any, so I'm going into next quarter with 5. My concealers, I started with 5. I ended up panning 1. Didn't purchase any, so we're going into next quarter with 4 concealers. My SPFs, I started with 3. I panned 1 of them. I purchased none. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong column. No SPF purchases. So I am down by 1, so I'm rolling into the next quarter with 2 sunscreens. Brow products, I started with 6. I panned 1 and I purchased 1, so we evened out and I'm still rolling in with 6. Bronzers, I started with 7. I panned 1, didn't purchase any, so we're rolling in with 6 bronzers. Blushes, I have 21. I did not pan any. I decluttered 1, which, I will drop some declutters into here. So I decluttered 1 blush and bought 1 blush, so that evened out, so I still have 21. With highlighters, I started with 8. I didn't pan any, no declutters, no purchases, so still have 8. Setting sprays, I had 8. I panned 1, didn't purchase any, so we're going in with 7 setting sprays. Lip products, I had 12. I've panned 2, and I've purchased 2, so I still have 12. My lip liners, I have 3. No pans, no purchases, so still rolling with 3. Mascaras, I had 7. I panned 2. No declutters, no purchases, and so we're rolling into next quarter with 5 mascaras. Eyeliners, I started with 22. I panned 2 of them, decluttered 1, no purchases of eyeliners, and so we're rolling into the next quarter with 19. With eye primers, I started with 4, no pans, no purchases, still rolling with 4. Eyeshadow palettes, I had 60. Well, let me clarify. Eyeshadow products. And so the 60 also includes my single shadows and my liquid shadows. So just 60 eyeshadow products. So we have 60. I didn't pan any. I decluttered 1, which I'll show you that also. And then I purchased 2. So that gives us 61 rolling into the next quarter. Moisturizers, I started with 4, no pans, no declutters, but I did end up bringing 1 into my collection through my FabFitFun, so that means I have 5 rolling in. So with my daytime skincare, I started with 12, I panned 3, I purchased 2, so we're rolling in to the next quarter with 11 products in my daytime skincare. My nighttime skincare, I started with 14 products, I panned 5 of them. I brought in 4, and so we're rolling into next quarter with 13. And then for hair care, started with 13 products, panned 5, got 2, and I'm trying to think. I think the 2 came in, I purchased 1, and 1 was from a FabFitFun. And so we're rolling into the next quarter with 10 hair care products. So I know in my other inventories, I kind of talked about how the total number of products didn't really matter to me, and it still doesn't, but since my spreadsheet ended up calculating them, I figured I would kind of give you guys the numbers. So start of the year in January, I was starting with 234 products. Now that is not pans of things, that is just products. So whatever is in the packaging, I consider a product. So 234. I panned 29 products in the first quarter. I decluttered 3. I purchased 16. So overall, what's leaving my collection and what's coming in, I actually still decreased everything by 16 products. So I am rolling into the next quarter with a total of 218 products. So I thought that this was just really interesting to have this spreadsheet and to figure out these numbers. And it surprised me a little bit, not necessarily in a bad way, because I feel like my stash is under control, but I just thought it was really interesting to kind of get the numbers and see what is fluctuating and what's not. And I actually have kind of projected what my usage will be for the upcoming quarter. And I am super excited about what my numbers are going to be looking like. But let me go ahead and grab those declutters real quick, and I'll just show them because there's only 2 of them. All right, these are the things I'm decluttering. This was an e.l.f. bite-sized cheek duo in watermelon. I had ended up dropping it and it shattered. So I took both of the shades and pressed them together in this pan. But this has like no color payoff whatsoever. And so it's nothing. It's nothing. So at that point, this was what, $3. So I feel comfortable letting go of this $3 product. So that's just going to be decluttered, thrown in the trash, unfortunately. I'll try to recycle what I can, but I think that's just going to go. And this next declutter breaks my heart a little bit, but I'm going to be decluttering the Tinkerbell palette. And this is from ColourPop. This is the Sprinkle a Little Magic. This is what the inside looks like. Let me try to turn down my lights a little bit. It got dark outside, and so I feel like I'm overexposed. Let me fix my lights, and I'll show you that palette. Maybe that's a little bit better, but this is what the inside of this palette looks like. And really, I love greens, but these greens never turn out well on me. So as much as I love the IP. I mean, I grew up with, the Disney cartoons, and I loved Peter Pan. Tinkerbell was just so sassy. Like, watching Tinkerbell fly over the castle at Disney, that's the magic of it. So, my heart is with Tinkerbell, but this doesn't do it for me. The metallics in here are gorgeous, but I just don't like the looks that I get when I use this palette. So I'm not sure if there's anybody in my life that would want this. I don't have like a Poshmark or anything. I don't sell my makeup. I usually just give it away. So I might see if there's somebody in my life who wants this. But again, this is going to be an eyeshadow palette that's going to be leaving my collection. I should have warned you guys ahead of time to grab a coffee or a tea or a snack because this was going to be a long one. But just anticipate that my buys and buys each month are going to be long because I use up a lot of products. And so thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around to the very end and listened to me geek out about my numbers and my spreadsheets, I really do appreciate you all. Tell me how you track your progress, because again, I've kind of worked these spreadsheets out over the last couple years to really fit with the way that I pan. But how do you track? I'm very curious what everybody does. Leave your comment down below to let me know how you track your progress. Subscribe, like, do all the things. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.